popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. This is an interesting one. It's not a weird one. It's not a funny one. It's interesting. It's a good legal battle going on. Could potentially have a squatter. Yeah. And good news is we actually have the follow-up to this tomorrow. And I'm excited to see how this plays out. Hopefully you guys are excited as me because I like these kind of cases. All right, before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kickback flips. Let's go.
Let's get started. Let's see. Toller Family Trust versus Patrick Vincent.
Yes.
May
Good
I please
morning.
report Bill Langman on behalf of the plaintiff, Toller Family Trust, trustee James Toller.
And it looks like I've got the frames. Are they at?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Ann Frame here on behalf of the defendant, who's also present with me.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Appearances filed. Since that for hearing, have the parties talked recently at all?
I have talked with attorney Ann Frame, not regarding this particular case, because there's a trust issue and there's an estate issue going on. But yeah, so at this time, we've not been able to resolve that issue, and so we have moved forward with the eviction proceeding.
I see. Ms. Frame, I guess, are you ready to proceed then today too? Is that what's going on?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed with today's hearing on the complaint that's been filed.
My only concern is that if there's a probate matter going on as well, where's that status with that?
The probate matter is, so as Attorney Langman mentioned, this house is owned by the trust. The estate of Carrie Newton is a 50% beneficiary of that trust, and Mr. Vincent, my client who's with me, is a personal representative of that estate. He's been living in this house for 3 years with the permission of Miss Newton, who had a life estate until her death last July. The complaint that's up for hearing today alleges, without any factual basis, that Mr. Vincent took the home by force when he's been living there with permission for 3 years. He has his own key. He's been paying property taxes and utilities in his own name. So we would ask that the complaint that's set for hearing today be dismissed without prejudice, Your Honor.
Okay, but I'm sorry. So your client, Mr. Vincent, is actual personal representative for the estate. Is that what I heard?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Simon, how do we get past if there's a probate proceeding and he's personal representative?
So this is the probate proceeding. The probate proceeding has no bearing on the trust, and as Ms. Frame said, the decedent, Carrie Ann Newton, who died a little over a year ago, she had a life estate, and we do not allege that Mr. Vincent came into possession of this property forcibly. We allege that he came into this property peaceably, but has retained it through force. Mr. Toller, as trustee, he has a fiduciary duty to maximize the assets of the trust. He has a fiduciary and a legal duty to administer the trust. Mr. Toller has been denied access to the home on multiple occasions. Finally, we had to get a sheriff over there to help us get in the house, and even then, he was only provided a cursory review of the property. The lights were held off, the windows were blocked. He was not let into the outbuildings. He was not let into a lot of the rooms. The defendant's brother was present. It's our understanding that the defendant brother is storing property there. We have a situation where under MCL 600.5714 subsection F, if a person comes into property peaceably and is retaining that through force, we have the right to have an immediate order of eviction. By admission, in the defendant's answer, there is no lease. By admission, he has not paid any rent. Now they're trying to allege that he's somehow some type of tenancy at will. There's nothing like that. He's in the property. He's refusing to leave the property. He is not involved in the trust at all. The trust owns the property. Now, it's possible, if what Ms. Frame says is true, that he is the beneficiary of Carrie Ann Newton, which is James Toller's sister, then he may have a 50% interest in the proceeds from the sale of the home. And we're not denying that. But we can't even list this house for sale and get this thing moving when he's keeping us out of it, refuses to move out, and we need to get him out. We need to get this home listed for sale, and we're asking for an immediate order of eviction. The law allows us to do this. And there is, the defendant attached some bills there. And I looked at those bills closely. They're alleging that, they're paying for things. It's patently false. The bills that they attached were for services rendered while Carrie Ann Newton, who had a life estate, lived in the property. The trust says she has a life estate in the property so long as she pays the taxes, insurance, and upkeep. She had a legal duty to pay those things. Since she has died, the trustee has had to pay everything on that house. And essentially, we have a squatter here. And now the defendant, who's living for free, doesn't pay rent, doesn't pay the taxes, doesn't pay the insurance, is unlawfully possessing the property, is complaining because he says the furnace isn't working properly and there's some outdated outlets. I mean, he's essentially a trespasser and a squatter on this property. And so we're simply asking that the court give him 10 days to move out. And if he hasn't moved out in 10 days, then we can apply for an order of eviction.
Okay.
Okay, that was a lot. I generally don't let it run for 7 minutes without pausing. So, yeah, I like to pause about every 5 minutes. Don't know why I'm explaining that. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is this guy a squatter? Kind of sounds like he is from that attorney's point of view. I also haven't heard the word estate, beneficiary, trust so many times when there's not a sovereign citizen involved. All right, let's hear from the other side.
Is there any motions with the probate court, I guess, contesting the trust at all? Anything like that? No, Miss?
No.
Your Honor, until recently, we were engaged in negotiations to sell this property to Mr. Vincent until this eviction was filed alleging forcible detainment of the property out of the blue. If they truly believed that he was holding on to this property by force, they wouldn't have been engaging with negotiations over the course of the last year to sell this property to him. Again, these allegations are completely false and inflammatory, and they know that they're false. He is a month-to-month holdover tenant. He has rights under Michigan law to have his tenancy terminated by expiration of a 30-day notice to quit, not by the procedure that's before the court today.
There's no agreement. They admit that. There's no tenancy at will. They can't show 1 month of rent paid ever. There is no, if he's a tenancy at will, you need to show a month, and he has a 30-day notice rate. You have to show some type of rent being paid or some type of agreement. They admit in their own pleadings that he has not paid rent. They admit in their own pleadings that there's no lease agreement. And now they're only alleging this so he can continue to maintain this property without having to pay. It is absolutely mind-boggling, the entitlement of this defendant.
Okay. So how many, I guess I'm willing to proceed today with the matter. How many witnesses do we have if Mr. Lyman, how many on your end?
For what? A trial?
Yeah, if we have a, yeah,
If we have a trial on
hearing,
this?
if we have a hearing today, do you have a trustee, I guess, here?
Yes, he's here. He's resident. He's present.
So it's
ready to
just-
go.
So it's just him, right? On your
I
end?
mean, I could try and call the sheriff and have him zoom in, that the deputy sheriff that attended the one time that they were allowed a cursory glance into the property. But I don't think, I think Mr. Toller was there. He can testify to it.
Okay, so we got basically one witness, and we'll see. I'm just trying to get an ID time frame. This frame, you've probably got just the one witness too, or do you have others?
We have the defendant who could testify. We also have his brother who was there and observed everything about what occurred when the trustee did come to the property and look through it.
Let's, I'm gonna pass this to the end of my docket. We'll have a hearing here shortly. I'll let you,
Your Honor,
this is, yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I apologize so
no,
much.
that's okay. That's
I am
great.
actually, and I alerted I'm actually in Christine Stevens' office down in Oakland County. I'm actually in a mediation right now. So I let the mediator talk with the other party first so I could come in here and handle this.
Okay,
It's going to be very difficult for me to, if you can give me a time, I might, in the afternoon or something, possibly. I don't know. What
it'd just be the end of my doc. How long are you gonna be in mediation? Do you think? I mean, is it a lengthy mediation type thing?
it's a custody, parent.
Oh, so it's got a little bit. Let's
I can,
let's do it next week. You wanna do it next week for everybody?
what date and time?
Same time, maybe my landlord tenant,
At the end
17th.
of your docket?
Yeah, we do it at the end. I'll set it for like the 17th, if that works for both of you. September 17th at, we could say 10:30 maybe? I don't know what our
That
doc
works for
is
me,
like.
Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Frame, does that work? Do you want to do that?
Yes, Your Honor, that works for both of us.
Okay, so we'll set for September 17th at 10:30.
All right. Yep. That's tomorrow. At least it will be by the time I release this video, because it's not Monday yet for me. I'm just pre-recording because it is Sunday and I'm going to be watching the Bengals game later this afternoon and go live right after. Probably going to be too tired tomorrow morning to record this. So, I'm trying to work a little bit ahead. So yes, Tuesday morning, we'll have the hearing on this and I cannot wait. I am excited. Hopefully you guys are too. Again, I like these kind of cases. It might not be your cup of tea, but I really enjoy them. Okay, I'm going to let this video play out. You guys are all awesome. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. And until next time, bye.
And just anticipate we're just gonna proceed on that date for hearing. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Yep, you're welcome.